Hi, I'm Charlie Hides from season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and today I'm going to be showing you how I transformed myself from an 89-year-old ancient and haggard showgirl into an 89-year-old haggard and ancient showgirl wearing a lot of makeup. Watch me go from this to this. Actually, the look we're going for today is what I call my showgirl in a rush kind of look. You've seen Fame give you amazingly refined and polished looks. That's not what I'm showing you today. If I show up late to a gig, it's 11:15, I have to be on at midnight, this is how I do it, and still end up looking like Charlie Hides. It's Charlie Hides Express. There is very little that I do that you haven't seen 100 queens do before. But one of the things that I do that is different is I use a slightly different makeup technique to cover my eyebrows. Okay, so just a little bit of Spirit Gum. This product was shown to me by Courtney Act, and I've been using it ever since. I would like to say that it's a mortician grade wax because that works best on me with my ancient skin. But the product is a flesh colored wax, and it's really soft and pliable. It's from a German manufacturer. You take the pea size, you soften it up, and then it's slightly flesh colored. It's very soft. It never dries out, it never cracks, it goes on extremely sheer. Even after 20 hours, putting on the makeup at 7 in the morning, and 20 hours later you're just going to bed, this product keeps the eyebrows down. Now I'm ready to put some base over and get going. I use this well-known foundation that's very common, and I use a couple of different shades. Easy to get, it's not very expensive, and it does the job. I'm using 2 different shades because Miss Fame said if I don't, she would come to my house and kick me in the ghoulies. I try to do this as fast as I can because I could die in the next hour, and I at least want to be on stage when I die rather than in the dressing room. I start thinking about what I'm going to be doing on stage, running lyrics. I know a lot of people like to just do their eyes and then put on their base on the rest of their face. And that's great if you have 4 hours, which I normally don't. Queen Victoria used to use egg whites, and she showed me how she did it. Couple of times. She was always going on about, oh, you bake the egg whites, you bake the egg whites. I'm using the equivalent of clown white. I've got deep set eye sockets right in here, so I just want to bring them out with the white, get the semblance of cheeks. I have a really crooked, wonky nose. And this is actually a technique that Marlene Dietrich used to do. I read about it when I was a kid, but she would take just a white eyeliner and go straight down the nose with a little line, and it fell out of fashion in favor for decades until I think Raven started doing it, and then everybody started doing that after her. I think it could be traced back to Raven, but maybe even to Jackie B. Just a little bit of white there, a little bit of white in here, a little bit of white here, a little bit white down the center of my nose, then using a darker contour, the number that works well for you, a couple shades darker than your actual skin color. One of the few things that I do that I've never seen anybody else do is I use a fine white eyeliner rather than a dark brown or a black, whatever, and I outline my lips and get them to be the shape that I want them to be. One of the reasons I do that is my lips don't really have a natural definition. My lip color doesn't really change. There's no sharp line, which allows me to overpaint and really transform the shape of my lips. I remove some of it with a sharp fingernail. Now I'm ready to actually line my lips in the color of my choice, whatever color is going to match my outfit for the night. I know what I'm wearing later, so I know that this particular shade of hot pink is going to work. Using a Q-tip, I can blend out a little of the white. Before I've even powdered my makeup, I like to sketch in where I think my eyebrows should be, where they're starting, where the tip of the arch is going to be, and where I think they are going to end up. And they have a funny way of ending up in different places on different nights. So I sketch in the general shape of my eyebrow. And I do it before I've actually powdered my makeup because the base is still moist and it's easy to correct a mistake before I've powdered it. Some of you may know that I have done a large number of celebrity impersonations in my career. So I'm often asked what the key is to doing good celebrity impersonations. And for me, the key is the eyebrows. Because if I want to do Lana Del Rey and I put Marilyn Monroe's eyebrows on or Madonna's eyebrows on, I'm not going to look like Lana Del Rey. And if I want to look like Madonna, I can't put Cher's eyebrows on her. So knowing how to do the celebrity's eyebrows and learning it and practicing it and being able to draw it on a napkin. I try to draw on what I consider to be a friendly eyebrow. And there are some eyebrows that are really bitchy that look like a Disney villainess. And some that works on some faces. So some people will draw on an eyebrow that looks like Joan Crawford or Joan Collins that is a mean eyebrow. And there are other eyebrows that are friendly. Liza Minnelli has very droopy, sad eyebrows. Some people's eyebrows look really, really surprised. I take a bit of white. You could use concealer. You can use a sharp white pencil. You can use clown white. You can use foundation that is 3 or 4 shades lighter than your natural general face color. I draw in just a little bit and then use a baby wipe, always handy. Because if you pick up some of the brown from your eyebrow, you don't want to draw that on. Things are ready to go. Let's powder it. I would say I almost never do things twice in the exact same way. I think this matte lip is going to look best. I want to create the illusion that my eyes are much wider than they are. So an old ballet trick is to draw a straight line. So ballerinas do this trick to make their eyes really, really pop. When I do my makeup, I'm actually thinking, how could I draw a woman onto my face? I prefer a brush with a fine point to actually, and doing this with jet black eyeliner, to using a crayon, an eye crayon or an eyeliner, because it has a really fine point and it feels like I'm doing art. I start at the corner of my eye and I'm aiming this line up towards the end point right there. I'm using black liner on this particular face. I'm sure there's a name for this. I'm sure this technique has a name, but I highly recommend it. If you're gonna do your makeup really fast. Back when I was in prison in the 60s for being a drug smuggler, don't recommend it. Don't smuggle drugs, kids. We would use a Sharpie as eyeliner. And then we'd take the underwire from our bra and fashion it into a shiv. Back in 1462, when Cher was doing her 3rd annual farewell tour, it was called This Time I Really Mean It, she showed me this little trick. And I'm just using eyeshadow, a little bit of water and a fine point. But if you hold your hand like this, and you hold your finger up here, you can steady the line and draw upwards. Old theatrical technique, as old as Methuselah, is to just do a white line on the inside of your eye. It makes your pupil look bigger so that people can see you from the back row. Sometimes just a pop of color is all you need. I've loaded up my brush with the color, but to prevent it from dropping onto my cheek, look at that. It's like the season 9 premiere promo. I want to make my eyebrows thicker and fill them in. Let's do that quickly. I've made my eyebrows thicker, and I used just a touch of white just right underneath the center of the curve of my arch. And now I'm going to use a little bit of liquid eyeliner and darken that line below my eyes. One of the benefits of drawing on your eye line much lower than your natural eye line and not following your natural eye line is that if you have wrinkles, which you have acquired over decades, pay attention, pheromone. This is your future. There are little fine lines and wrinkles, which you can pay a fortune to have sandblasted off through the art of laser technology. But if you just embrace them and accept them as little stories that I've acquired on your face, if you want to hide them, just draw your eyeliner on much lower. And no one will notice you're covering up wrinkles and bags. As you get older, when you blink, your eyelid touches up above and makeup transfers over onto it. How do I deal with it? You take some eyeshadow and you blend it in. Today I'm using a dark brown. What would transform this look? Lashes. Eyelash glue. I'm using a pair of lashes that I've worn before. A little bit of mascara. This is my lower lash. It's kind of a signature for me. It's a single lower lash that's long with two shorter ones beside it. A little bit of glitter. There are many different products, gels, creams, lotions, potions, oils, and unguents that have glitter suspended amidst their emulsion. There are many different ways to get glitter to stick to your face. Try them all. Whichever one works best for you, use it again. I sometimes, but not always, will use a bit of glitter up on the top of my brow, just underneath. I think my makeup is complete. It's time to put on my wig. So the wig's on, jewelry's on, I'm ready to hop on stage. One last thing, I just need a little bit of color on my cheeks. I'm using the exact same shade and the exact same product that I used on my eyes. How dare she? If you want to look at pictures where I spent time to do my makeup perfectly and then added a few filters, you can check out my photos on Instagram. Where would you find me on Instagram? Charlie Hides TV, the same name as my YouTube channel. And guess what? My Twitter handle, Charlie Hides TV. So original.
Hey, squirrel friend. When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.